speculating that WWE and CM Punk are not even in talks. WWE has said they are. Sean Ross Sapp has said they're not. I don't know who to believe. There's so much shit going on backstage. Maybe they both talk to different people and different people know things that other people don't. This is a very different story. I don't know if I want to see CM Punk or not. It was said, someone tweeted out, is it good or bad for CM Punk to go back to WWE? And I responded with, or. I have no clue what it could be. It could be terrible. It could be great. No one knows. That's why it's what it is. And finally, Tony Khan has stirred up a little bit of heat with wrestling fans as he has poked and prodded WWE as they're going head-to-head tonight in the ratings wars. What's it going to be? Are you going to be watching NXT? Are you going to be watching AEW? Now, I've tried to support AEW as much as I can. I really do enjoy their products. They're amazing, they're fun, and they really promote awesome wrestling. Their storyline, their feuds, but the wrestling in the matches themselves are unbelievable. And I'll always give credit where credit's due. But Tony Khan he can book good matches, he can't book good storylines. And now he's starting to book himself into a shoot with calling out Triple H. Calling him a bald asshole and saying, suck my dick. I don't know if the suck my dick thing is true. It's been talked about, but the bald asshole, he is calling out Triple H and Shawn Michaels on WWE tonight. He posted that on his official Twitter, by the way. Listen, dude, you gotta stop. WWE won the Monday Night Wars by doing one thing, not talking about WCW. You don't acknowledge them, then guess what? You're not getting them screen time. That's why I never talk about people who hurt me, people who are assholes to me. Guess what? I don't talk about them. They're gone. Out of my life. Alright? Never have to worry about them again. Never have to worry about people knowing about them. So I move on. But is Tony Khan the asshole in this situation? Absolutely. Let's move on to SmackDown, though. SmackDown kicked off with L.A. Knight. Yeah. L.A. Knight got a great promo was going to get a great promo, but was interrupted by Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy then said they didn't have to wait till Fastlane, they could kick some ass tonight. You then had John Cena come out, John Cena, the megastar, and LA Knight challenged Jimmy to a match later, which Jimmy accepted. We then get Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Damage Control of Bayley and Io Sky. Charlotte Flair and Asuka were able to pick up the win. It was also to remember that these two were tag team champions at the time. I feel like that championship is forgotten about in WWE. Just want to say that right now. You then get Bobby Lashley versus Rey Mysterio. Bobby Lashley was able to pick up the win. It was a very good match. Bobby Lashley really showing off some awesome moves against Rey Mysterio. Really did enjoy it. It was cool to see them actually go after him once again, because I feel like these two could have a great feud if they truly wanted it. We then get Dragon Lee versus Austin Theory. Cool match. Dragon Lee would pick up the win. During the match, though, Cameron Grimes attacked Grayson Waller, who was at ringside with Austin Theory. Maybe this will be a new tag team, Cameron Grimes and Dragon Lee. I would love to see that. I don't know why, at least that works for me. You then get your main event as LA Knight would pick up the win over Jimmy Uso. It was an okay match. And in DQ after Solo Sikoa got involved and attacked Knight. John Cena ran out for the save. Judgment Day came out with Paul Heyman and shook hands with Rhea Ripley, which means Roman Reigns is okay. Judgment Day, earlier in the night, we're going to Paul Heyman saying, hey, let's team up. We'll be the most dominant people in WWE if we do that. And he said, I need to call Roman Reigns. Judgment Day has officially joined forces with the Bloodline, and Judgment Day then attacked Knight and Cena. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes came out to even the odds, and the baby faces stood tall. Good way to kick off. Good way to same time, I thought was a very good night for WWE. Let's go to Fastlane. Fastlane kicked off with the Undisputed Tag Team title match of Judgment Day defending their titles against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. It was a very good title match. It actually looked like Cody Rhodes might hurt his neck a bit. Not just in this match, but he would on Monday Night Raw. I'll get to that eventually, but it was a good match, and you would actually have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso pick up the win. New tag team champions, everybody. This is awesome. Cody Rhodes has officially been the first guy to jump ship from AEW to WWE, and now he is the first guy from AEW to hold gold in WWE again after leaving AEW. So, thought that was cool. We then get the Latino World Order versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits in a six-man tag. You know how I feel about this, but the ending made it up. It was a good match. It started off as a handicap match, as it was said that no one answered Rey Mysterio's call for help. And then, right as they were about to beat the shit out of Mysterio, someone comes down for the save. It's Carlito! Carlito is back in WWE, everybody. This was awesome. I love Carlito, and I always felt like he should have been a WWE champion. So it's cool to see him back in the fold. I guess he'll be teaming up with the LWO. Awesome to see that they pick up the win over Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So what's going to happen with them? Very big question there. We then get a triple threat match for a WWE Women's Championship. It was Asuka and Charlotte Flair against the defending champion Io Sky. Damage Control would get involved, and it would actually be Io Sky picking up the win. I now truly believe it's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. That is my guess. If I had to guess anything, triple threat match at WrestleMania. We did get John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline in a nice tag team match. It was alright. John Cena and LA Knight would pick up the win. There was never any question about that. They would pin Jimmy Uso. I guess they're going to use this as fodder to kick Jimmy Uso out of the Bloodline, maybe after Survivor Series. Go to the Royal Rumble, have Jimmy and Jay face off in the Royal Rumble match itself. And then it'll lead to a WrestleMania match where Jimmy says, I was never the same after you left. Now I got to kick your ass to prove I still got it. That's what I see happening, by the way. We then get your main event of a last man standing match of the night, no question. 28-minute last man standing match. There were tables. There were chairs. There were kendo sticks. There were ladders. It was awesome. It was fun. Everything that could happen happened. Seth Rollins finally picks up the win after hitting the Falcon's arrow on Shin through a table onto the concrete. Seth Rollins makes it to his feet as Shinsuke just barely misses the count. Seth Rollins is your last man standing and still your World Heavyweight Champion. If I had to grade the show, I would give it a B+. It's awesome, but I just wish there wasn't so many tag team matches on it. If there weren't so many tag team matches on the card, it would be an A+, and maybe another championship match. Doesn't have to be it could have been the Women's World Championship, maybe, or maybe United States or an Intercontinental match, just something else. Just need one more title match, and it would have been perfect. But a great show all around. I truly thought it was fun. Let's go with Raw after that, where Drew McIntyre kicked off Raw by challenging Seth Rollins to a match. Rollins accepted. We officially have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre at Crown Jewel. This looks really fun. We then get Ivar versus Kofi Kingston in a Viking Rules match. Ivar would pick up the win over Kingston in a hard-fought match. I still don't get why this is still a thing of the Viking Rules. Just want to say that. We then get Ricochet attacking Shinsuke backstage to show that Ricochet is still a powerhouse in WWE. We then get Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax. It would be an okay match, but it would end up being DQ when Rhea would attack Raquel, and then it would lead to Shayna Baszler getting involved. Looks like we're going to get a fatal four-way, either a Crown Jewel or maybe at a Raw right before Crown Jewel, so they don't piss off the anti-women government of Saudi Arabia. We then get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn challenging Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the tag team championships tonight. I don't know what to think of this. I'm very happy that they're getting the shot, but it's going to be a fun match. We then get Bronson Reed defeating Ricochet and Chad Gable in a triple threat match for a number one contendership. Very good match, actually, what I think would be one of the matches of the night. I'm very excited for Bronson Reed. He's the one who I can see beating Gunther for some reason. I see him picking up the win over Gunther and becoming your new Intercontinental Champion. We then get after a match of Shinsuke Nakamura attacking Ricochet. You can tell this is a Triple H book show. That's the story I couldn't remember. Triple H is now 99.99% in charge of creative. Vince McMahon is no longer in charge of creative at all. He at most has a 0.01% control of creative. So this really does, it feels like we're back in the Triple H era of younger stars getting pushed and newer things happening. Because then we get Xia Li asking for a shot at Becky Lynch's NXT Women's Championship. Very cool to see that, and Xia Li get a bit of a push. We then get Drew McIntyre beating the shit out of JD McDonough in a nice little match. Alright, fun to see Drew McIntyre picking up the win. We then get Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci attacking Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano backstage. Awesome to see this, that they're Johnny Gargano and DIY are basically back together. This is awesome. We then get Becky Lynch versus Tegan Nox in a great match to retain the Women's Championship. Really goes to show Tegan Nox's style and Becky Lynch's style actually click very well together. We then get Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defending their tag team titles in the main event. Jey Uso would pin Owens to pick up the win in a hard-fought match. It was a match of the night, but it was definitely close. Very fun. And you would actually have them shake hands after the match. Does this mean Kevin Owens has finally forgiven the Bloodline for all they've done? I don't know if he has, but it definitely goes a long way in proving that Jey Uso is a changed man. That was Raw this week. It was a fun Raw. It was definitely building off of the momentum they had from fastlane. You could tell that this is definitely a Triple H book show, man. It's focusing on younger talent and even better talent than before. I won't say better, actually, because better implies that they are better than the generation that came before them. But it's still awesome to see the younger talent get their moments. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Super Showdown 2018. 2019. This has been called one of the worst pay-per-views ever. June 7th, 2019. It had a pre-show match between the Usos and the Revival. You remember that match, right? No one ever does remember that feud because it was the Fire Uzi or whatever it was. And you would have basically them making fun of the Revival looking like clowns. They would then move to SmackDown, and the Revival would win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It would then kick off the main show with Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. Good match, and I actually thought it was fun to see. I thought it was a great match between Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins. But I actually liked Baron Corbin's push at this time. I thought it was cool. And it would end up basically after this because you would have this match with him, and then you would have Brock Lesnar looming in the background. You would have basically the notion that there's no way Corbin wins this. They would leak their Extreme Rules match, and it would have Brock Lesnar cashing in on Seth Rollins to lose the Universal title. And then Seth Rollins way back in SummerSlam. You then get the Demon Finn Balor, who has returned Boy the Demon was losing. And then for your shocking decision of the night, Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns. A very weird match. You would actually have Roman Reigns lose this match. Roman Reigns, after defeating Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, coming back and beating cancer, loses to Shane McMahon. This was definitely a weird one. You would then have Lars Sullivan in a 3-on-1 handicap match versus Lucha House Party, which would end in disqualification. Yeah, I'm starting to see why this is the worst show ever. You then get your really highlight of the night, which was Randy Orton versus Triple H. Randy Orton and Triple H, a creative feud, is a feud I've covered many times on this channel. Randy Orton would pick up the win by RKO, but the main part of this match is it was Triple H's last match ever. He has since retired after having a heart attack in the ring. It's sad to look back on that because of this. It really is. When you think about it, I was at his last WrestleMania match. And he has his last match it's good though for one reason. He gave the end to his protege, to Randy Orton, the guy who he truly mentored and believed in. So, that's cool when you think about it, but it's still sad that this was Triple H's last match. We then get Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a singles match. Braun Strowman would pick up the win in this battle of big men. Cool match to see, and then would really begin Braun Strowman's push to go into more of a main event picture, which he would finally really go into next year to win the Universal Championship from Goldberg, which we'll cover later. We then get Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. It was originally supposed to be a final match between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship, but because Daniel Bryan didn't like the Saudi Arabian government, which is completely fine, he did not feel comfortable going to perform for them, so that's completely fine. He was replaced with Dolph Ziggler, who came back with, it was made fun of, but I actually always liked this promo of the "it should have been me," because I've always felt Dolph Ziggler should have been WWE Champion. He should have gotten a great run. And I thought this feud was awesome. I thought he had great matches with Kofi. So, Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston, it was a 10-minute match. It should have gotten a little more time, but I thought it was a good match. We then get a 51-man battle royal with Mansoor last eliminating Elias. It's funny because there are 205 Live people in here that this show on Wikipedia is listing 205 Live as one of the brands on this show, even though all its guys were basically just eliminated and were in a handicap match. Mansoor would pick up the win and basically continue a winning streak that would soon end to, I forget who it was, but it would end, I think, to Mustafa Ali. And we then get your main event, what's been called one of the worst matches ever. It sucks to see two legends, a match that 10 years, maybe 20 years before, would have sold out any arena in the world. Goldberg versus The Undertaker. Icon versus Deadman. Streak versus Streak itself. The Undertaker would pick up the win in his 9-minute match, but unfortunately it was never what it should have been, as Goldberg would give himself a concussion hitting the steel ring post, and he would never truly a drink. How about blue coconut margarita? Sounds delicious, doesn't it? 1 ounce tequila, 1 ounce blue curacao, 1 ounce of half an ounce of lime juice, a little bit of ounce of cream of coconut, some coconut, and some lime. So you're gonna rim the edge of your rimming the edge of your glass with a little bit of coconut shaving, and you're gonna set that aside. You're gonna take a blender with ice, combine that with tequila, blue curacao, lime juice, and the cream of coconut. You're gonna blend thoroughly until smooth. You got a little lime and the coconut. Sorry, anytime you say lime and coconut, it is contractually obligated to sing that song. You got to blend it until smooth, pour into the rimmed glass, garnish with a lime wedge, and you have a beautiful blue coconut margarita that is delicious. And now, it is time for the Bell Druid of the week. Bell Druid this week is simple. I mentioned it in my opening. It is Tony Khan. Tony Khan, what the fuck are you doing, brother? Listen, you put on some great matches, but this is fucking idiocy. You're just basically telling people, hey, I'm a jackass. Don't support my shit. I really wish that AEW is a success. I really do. But the way they're filling arenas, the talent they're signing, and I'm not saying the talent's washed up. I'm not saying that. They're great talent. But at the same time, it's people who chose either not to resign with WWE or who were let go from WWE for a reason. I understand second chances, and I understand giving people a chance to really show up on the main stage. But the way you're going, dude, if you keep this up, you're going to be Impact Wrestling, no question. So congratulations. You are the Bowser of the Week. Put this next to your Book of the Year award, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Great show. Thank you very much for listening. I have been the big guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week, I don't know if I'm going to review yet because this month is kind of going to be weird as I've reviewed every crown jewel ever on this channel, so I don't want to review it again. So I'll be going with different pay-per-views, maybe from Saudi Arabia, maybe from Australia. Maybe I'll go with a little Super Showdown pay-per-view. I don't know. But thank you very much for listening. Please leave a comment and